Clemson week. Let's go. What's up, everybody? I'm Aslan Hajavani. Welcome into Trench Talk with Devontay Love-Taylor. He'll be joining us shortly. He is ready to rock. Hopefully, you're ready to rock. Again, it's Clemson week. Stay connected with Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminoles sports source throughout the week for everything. Press conferences are in the book. Tuesday, Wednesday practice will be out there. The 3-2-1 from Ira is up. Seminole Headlines goes tomorrow, 1 to 3 p.m. with Jeff, Ira, and Corey. We're going to have the Warchant report, I think, make its triumphant return. Man, we are ready to go. Hopefully you are as well. Again, hit that like button. We certainly would appreciate it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's in the lower right corner of the screen. Hit subscribe. Hit the little bell. Set your notification. And you're ready to rock. Again, that'd be super, super cool of you. We'll get Devontay on here in a minute to take your questions. It is Trench Talk. It's the show where you get to ask your questions to Devontay Love-Taylor, senior offensive lineman for the Florida State Seminoles. We got some questions already percolating through on the Tribal Council, so thank you for all your questions. Hopefully, we'll be posting some stuff here on YouTube for our folks catching us on here live. Don't forget, if you're maybe joining us later on, this is going to be replayed on the YouTube page and also its own podcast feed, same one as Seminole Headlines. Florida State takes on Clemson, 3:30 p.m. in Death Valley. Six-time reigning ACC champs. They also have a 6-game winning streak over the Noles. I think it's going to change. Feeling optimistic. Corey and I battled and argued about it on the edition of Wake Up Warchant, so make sure you download and listen to that. The NC State game has been 6-day optioned, so we won't know the kickoff for that until probably about Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon. Sometimes it even goes into Monday, but we're hoping it won't go that far into it. But that game has been 6-day optioned since they lost to Miami. I guess all eyes will be on Clemson to see if Florida State can take them down and then figure out the schedules around that stuff. Anyhow, though, all that said, you're here to ask questions of Devontay Love-Taylor and hear what he's got to say about this team and this upcoming game. So without further ado, let's bring him in. Let's start Trench Talk with Devontay Love-Taylor in, say about 10 seconds, 15 seconds. From the ultimate Seminole sports source comes another original live content production. Trench Talk with Devontay Love-Taylor. You bring the live rounds, he'll bring the pancakes. And now, number 58 in your programs, but number 1 in your hearts, here's the man of the next half hour, Devontay Love-Taylor. There he is, Devontay Love-Taylor, everybody, number 58. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Welcome into this edition of Trench Talk with Devontay Love-Taylor. Devontay, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. It's Clemson week, man. It feels different. The air just feels more crisp. How was Sunday's walkthrough for you guys?
It was good. It was very, attention to detail, just like every walkthrough. High intensity, and just moving on to this week.
Walking around the complex, the facility, does it feel any? I know it's another game, faceless opponent, but they're kind of special. They're kind of different. Is it any different for you guys right now?
I can't say yet because, we haven't practiced yet. We just had our Sunday walkthrough, but we'll see in the morning.
Okay. With that said, let's go over to the Tribal Council, warchant.com. Use that promo code WARCHANT30 to join the website. Get your questions into Devontay. It comes from Hogpin. How healthy are you and the rest of the offensive line? Go beat Clemson. Go Noles. You can maybe speak for yourself. We don't have to speak for everybody's account, but how healthy do you feel you are right now, Devontay?
I feel good. I didn't play this past Saturday, and that did a lot for me physically. I could have went if it was like an emergency situation. I was ready to go. I was dressed out. I warmed up and everything, but it just came down to a game time decision. But I feel good.
Did you have an idea how you were going to be used on Saturday? Were you surprised when you didn't play on Saturday, or were you guys kind of in communication and talk about it throughout the week?
No, we're in communication. You see how you feel early in the week, and then once you get later in the week, and it was more of a game time decision. But it was like if I wasn't gonna start off the game, it was gonna be more in an emergency situation.
There you go. Premier Youth Theater asking if you're sandbagging us. He would never do that. Premier Youth Theater. You will be ready hopefully Saturday though. I would assume.
Yes, sir. I'll be ready. No sandbagging.
There we go. All right. Right on. Let's see here. Roy Keenum. What do you think the chances are at Clemson? Gets right to the point, I guess, old Roy.
I think if we do what we've been doing, we play discipline, we play how we know we can play, and we play the way that we're coached, we'll handle business.
This feels like completely different, man. The last 3 weeks, it just feels like the games of the past, the games of last season, that kind of stuff just seems like it's so far off in the distance, and that you guys have really kind of turned the page on that. Do you sense that as well? I mean, you've always maintained your confidence going into the Notre Dame game, after the Notre Dame game, the highs and the lows of this early season. But does it feel that you guys have kind of turned the page and those sort of struggles, if you will, that stuff that's in the past, like that's not coming back?
Yeah, I mean, we knew we were gonna outgrow it. Like I said, even when we were down, I said that like I had confidence in this team, and what y'all are seeing now is what I was talking about, where we know what we're capable of, and it's just now getting on display for everybody to see, and we have to keep building on that. Like I said before, we can't just learn how to handle failure. We have to learn how to handle success too, and this is a big test of that this week.
Get Down or Lay Down says, what if Hollywood decides to make Devontay Love-Taylor the movie? Who do you want them to cast as you? And your I don't know what GT is. But who could play you in a movie? Like, who's got the chops?
I think only me. I think I'm the only person capable of playing me. But yeah, I don't know. I gotta go with me. I think I'd be a good actor as well.
All right. Well, it would really be acting if you're playing yourself, though, Devontay. Come on.
You have a point.
All right. Let's hop back over to the warchant.com Tribal Council. Again, use that promo code WARCHANT30. Hit the thumbs up button watching us here live on YouTube. This comes from BD08E. Congrats on the 3-game win streak. How did it feel seeing some of the younger guys and even older players making plays to help the team win against UMass? Go Noles, beat Clemson.
Man, it was awesome to be honest. Especially in the O-line room. People don't realize, like, just because you don't play on Saturdays, that doesn't mean you don't work hard. Those guys work just as hard as us throughout the week. The only difference is I want to say 50 guys that see significant amounts of playing time. That's the only difference, is that they're out there on Saturdays. But the other guys work too. They're giving us great looks on scout throughout practice, and they help us get ready for Saturday. So it was good to see them get the reward of playing in the game, and then they get to tell some people may never get the chance again, but they're going to get to say that they played in dope.
Devontay, do you remember like getting into a game when you were a freshman, like your some of your first reps? Like, did you ever enter a game where it was kind of already decided and you were kind of thrown out there just to get some of your first game action, and whether or not that did make an impact on you, whether it was the following season or the next time you actually got more playing time in a game?
No, I actually got my first like playing time was on field goal, but my first actual like snaps on offense, I started against FAU, I think, in a rivalry game.
Oh.
And I hadn't played in a game in like 2 years since high school because I was a redshirt freshman. So I went from taking 0 snaps, except on special teams, to like 65 in a start. So I kind of just got thrown in the fire.
What were you looking at? Were you Coach Devontay? Were you teammate Devontay? Were you Captain Devontay? Like, what were you looking at Saturday on the field? And were you trying to help coach some of the guys up between series?
Yeah, I was trying to do a little bit of everything. I told the guys that were in, I said, if you want to see something from the sidelines, because some people they don't want to like talk to players when they come off the sideline. So I'm like, if you want me to look at anything, let me know. When the defense was out there, I was waving a towel. I had a towel on me. And then when the younger guys went out there, I was just a cheerleader. It was just great seeing them get a chance to play.
All right, on. We're going to take this from our guy Sky Ninja. Ask if you could point to one thing that has changed from the beginning of the season until now that has contributed to you guys playing better. What would you think it is?
Probably the decrease in penalties, which is just an attest to discipline.
Corey and I talked about it on the podcast. Like, it's crazy to think, not that it's something minor, but simply the fact that you guys are avoiding these penalties. I mean, it really changes everything for you guys offensively when you guys are 2nd and 6 versus 2nd and 11, right?
Oh yeah, big time. Because once you get it's not desperation, but it is. 2nd and 11, you feel desperate to not get in 3rd and long, so you feel like you have to have a big play on 2nd down to make it 3rd and short. But if you're in 2nd and 6, 3rd and 6 is still manageable, but you can get it to 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, and that's very manageable.
Coach Dillingham mentioned it. I think he said last week, like, he challenged you guys, just, hey, let's go a whole game without a penalty. like let's just go a whole game, I think maybe without a pre-snap penalty.
Mm-hmm.
What allows you guys to maybe go out there and play like a clean game? Is it maturation? Is it confidence? Like what leads to you guys playing 60 minutes of clean football in terms of not getting penalized?
The way Coach Atkins puts it is being in the moment. When it's third and long, reminding people that it's third and long, expect twists. If it's like a group like North Carolina where they like to shift a lot and yell shift and move pre-snap, you got to remind everybody of that. And then some teams only do it in like short yardage situations to get you back up. So it's just awareness, discipline, and just understanding the situation.
We go to Gator Kirk over in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Good evening, Devontay. What will it take for the offensive line to break the rock? You guys do a lot of work and don't get as much credit. Go Noles. Yeah, I mean, I want to see one of you guys slinging the hammer. What's gotta happen?
Nah, we don't want any of that. We just want wins. We don't care about breaking the rock. It's cool, but we just want to win at the end of the day.
Get Down or Lay Down is back asking, would you rather knock a guy off of his feet with a punch out or drive him into the opposing team's bench?
Probably driving into the opposing team bench, because then everybody sees you on their team and they know what you're about.
It's good. It's good stuff to put on the tape. Good stuff to put on the tape. Jordan Newton talks about Jarvis Brownlee after the game on Saturday. Was talking about the hard coaching he got from Coach Norvell was a little bit tough to take early on, but he's kind of grown accustomed to it and now can really appreciate Coach. For you, did you always have that sort of respect and admiration for Coach, or was there tough growing pains as well where you kind of had to get used to the tough coaching?
I wouldn't say have to get used to it. You just have to adjust to a style of coaching. But it was hard at first because not because of the coaching style, but because it was over Zoom. Because when I first got here, we only had 3 days of practice in the spring, and it's hard to tell. Tour duty and everything. It's mat drills, but it's not football. So he was tough in that and coaching, but it wasn't football. So it was. I don't want to say it was hard, but it was something new.
Let's head back over to the Tribal Council on warchant.com. This comes from Mignats. Just want to say a quick thank you, Devontay. After the game Saturday, as you were leaving the field, you gave one of your gloves to my son. Do you remember this, Devontay? You handed out merch to the kid?
I do. I'm going to get in trouble. I hope nobody sees this because I told the equipment people I lost my gloves. But
Look at this. Just want to say I hope you realize the impact that it had on an 11-year-old boy, especially since his mom is a Gator, and he also goes to Florida home games. He's all Nole, though. Thank you again. Much appreciated. I hope you get healthy. Let's extend this winning streak to 4 this weekend. Go Noles. Shout out, Devontay. Good for you, man. So you gave one glove to different people. You had 2 gloves to give out?
Yeah. I just spreaded them out. I didn't want any fights or anything over gloves.
So how do you figure out? Does a kid have to be like Devontay, or like you just randomly throwing it there, or are you trying to like make eye contact with a kid and be like, all right, I can tell this kid this would make his day?
Well, we were walking off the field, right before we walk into the tunnel. I just seen some kids, and I was just like, yeah, I didn't use these today. They're not sweaty, so.
Let's see here. Pitmaster, this is Chris from Perry. Self-proclaimed pitmaster. I believe him, though. I think he's legit. Who are you excited to see hit the field that hasn't played much yet?
I'll give one on offense and one on defense. Offensively, I have to say DJ Williams.
Okay.
We got to see a glimpse on Saturday a little bit, but our running back room is just so talented. I feel like if he was anywhere else in the country, he'd be the featured back. But we got some dogs in our running back room. Him on offense, and then on defense, probably Shaheem.
Well, Shaheem, we've seen him do plenty of stuff in practice. Good answer. Shout out, Chris. Good to hear from you, man. Thanks for the question. We do appreciate it. Over back on the Tribal Council, Spartan Noles 71. This is Ralph. He's out there in Hawaii. Mahalo, Ralph. Aloha, Devontay. How's it? I know we don't want to give Clemson bulletin board material, so I will simply ask, how good do you feel about our offensive line versus their defensive line matchup? As always, mahalo and go Noles.
I feel like they're really good on their D-line, but I feel like we're just as good, and I feel like it's going to be a battle throughout the whole game. And I feel like this game is going to be one in the trenches on offensive line and defensive line for us as well.
Are you guys at a point, Devontay, where all credit to Clemson, much respect to what they've accomplished and who they are and what kind of challenge they're going to pose you guys on Saturday. But are you guys kind of at this point where you guys have some real, true confidence and you've backed it up with that you guys can pretty much run the ball? I mean, at least like your identity, at least offensively, seems to be of a very successful, potent running team.
Yeah, we have confidence, just based off how we prepare. But, we have respect for them and the fact we know that they're not having the year they wanted to, but they're still a program that knows how to win. So we have to remind ourselves of that. Like, just because that they didn't play well a couple weeks ago or whatever doesn't mean they won't play well against us. So we have to bring our A game.
Let's see here. Space Coast, favorite away game stadium you have been to and any that you're looking forward to playing in?
My favorite one, I think it was UTSA. And it was like the Spurs old stadium, and it was really cool. Like, there weren't a lot of people in there, but like they did like a light show before, and it was just really cool because it was so big. And then I'm looking forward to this week and the last week of the season.
There we go. Do you have any friends that have ever played at Clemson? Like, do you know anybody that's ever played in Death Valley?
No, I do not.
They say it's loud. I mean, it's been a few years. Actually, I went there in 2019. It does get loud, but you guys, I mean, good Lord, you got the music, the crowd noise you guys play at practice is pretty deafening too. So it's different, but you guys will be prepared. Get Down or Laydowns back and just want to show you love. Glad you realize the impact you have on the kids, on the youth. Great ambassador for our program. So I guess keep trying to give away stuff as long as you don't get in trouble by the equipment guys, obviously. Don't want that to happen. Here's Carol commenting off of Facebook, Devontay, and says, congrats on the UMass win. I was wondering if the players immensely enjoy receiving the Tomahawk helmet stickers as much as the fans love seeing them on your helmets game days. I don't know, Carol. I think you guys like them a lot more than the players do. They love the Tomahawk stickers, Devontay. They panic when they're not there. How many do you have? Do you know how many you have? And who's got the most? Do you know who's got the most?
I'm not sure how many I have, but I'm sure either J-Trav or Jermaine have the most. But don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure.
I mean, was it cool to finally get? I mean, you got Tomahawks last year, obviously, but when you guys finally do see your helmet and it's got a couple on there, is it like, all right, that's
cool? Yeah. It's like, because then you're at practice and you're seeing like how many the guy next to you have and stuff like that.
All right, let's go back to work. Thank you for the question, Carol. Shout out. Back to BD08E over on Warchant's Tribal Council. Does Florida State's best seasons or legendary players ever come up on the practice field or in the locker room, either by current players or coaches? If so, which player or season gets mentioned the most?
I wouldn't say at practice. Normally at practice, it's a high intense like practice. We don't really have time to like talk or really like dwell on anything, to be honest. We're just worried about if we're getting our work in or not. But I would say every Friday we do like a walk where we have alumni come and speak to us, and we've heard from everybody from before Coach Godin got here to alumni from 2018. So there's a lot of people we've heard stories about, and Coach Odell always has a good story to tell.
You answer this, but they're just joining the program. They're a subscriber, so they get their question. And again, Nolaholic asking about the reduction of penalties. Again, from your perspective, what do you think accounts for the reduction of the penalties?
Seeing how much they cost us early in the season.
Like, do you guys? I mean, like, would it be? I mean, would Coach Atkins like stop the film, or like, does Kenny stop the film and like, guys, do you realize like what this did to us, or do they not have to really overemphasize it? You guys can kind of pick it up on your own and realize how that affected a series or a drive.
We understand it for the most part, especially in critical situations, because a hold on a 3rd and 10 could go from a first down, if you get the first down, to a 3rd and 20. So, that's detrimental. You just don't want to be the reason.
Nobody wants to be a reason. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Stephen Vaughn asks, is the team aware of the underdog aspect of the game? He knows that after North Carolina, Jermaine had tweeted about the underdog sort of aspect of it. Is that something you guys I mean, you try to block the noise out, but is that something that does catch your ear eventually at some point throughout a week?
Yeah, a little bit, not a whole lot. We're aware we're going into Death Valley. We're however many point underdogs, but if we play our game the best we can, we feel like we'll be able to execute.
All right. Devontay, we're going to put you on the hot seat here again. We're going to make you turn into coach/scout. Devontay, which offensive lineman do you think graded out the highest on Saturday
Oh,
against UMass?
is there like a snap minimum?
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll go with we'll say 20 snap minimum.
20 snap minimum, 20 snap. I'll go with Maurice Smith.
Oh, Pro Football Focus doesn't like our guy Maurice. They're very, very, very critical of Maurice. He graded at like 70, which is solid. Like you want to be above 60. But it was
Yeah.
Bavion, actually. Bavion graded
Okay,
out.
okay.
All right, so and then behind him
Joe.
Dylan. So is that acceptable? You're like, all right, I
Oh,
can
it is. I felt like we played pretty well up front. I know you see my guy Lloyd Willis though.
Yeah,
Everybody
man.
asking me questions.
Yeah.
There you go.
Calling it. But yeah. Maurice is at 15. Do you think that's one of those things where, I mean, you've mentioned it about, as much as they try to know what's kind of going on, they obviously don't know the scheme and what you guys are really trying to accomplish on a play-to-play basis. Is that one of those things where maybe like a center is even more difficult to kind of judge their responsibilities if you don't know what's exactly going on?
Yeah, especially if they don't understand the scheme.
All right.
Yeah, it's difficult. I don't understand their full grading scale, so it's like hard for me to speak on.
None of us do. None of us understand the scale here. Let's see here. Johnny asked, do you wish the Clemson game was a night game?
It doesn't matter. We get to play football. We can play at 10 at night or 6 in the morning. We'd be ready.
Scott June, I'm going to be very direct. Do you think we can win out? I think you guys can.
I think if we keep growing as a team, getting on 1% every day, that we can win out.
There we go. Well said. Look at you mixing in everything too. Get a little 1% on us. Space Coast asked, do you talk or text to any current recruits and commits and develop any relationships with them?
A few here and there. I don't want to name drop any, but yeah, like you want to give them a chance to talk to somebody who's here. And I was one of the first guys to get here when Coach Norvell got the job. So I don't mind talking to them about how I got here and what they're gonna expect from the coaches and what they expect from Tallahassee and the fans and everything.
If you became a coach in college, do you think you would like the recruiting aspect of it, or do you think you'd be like, recruiting?
I don't know. It's hard. It's cool. One of the coolest things is you're giving kids a chance to change their lives. Just by telling them that they have an offer to your university, which I think that's amazing. But then you have to sell them on why you should get to coach them. And then you know how it is. As soon as they sign that piece of paper, the switch flips, and you get out of recruiting mode.
Let's see what else we got here. There's a couple questions that are just a little bit above a pay grade, or just people want to ask you about special teams. He's an offensive lineman, guys. He's not out there. He's not on the kick coverage. He doesn't know what's going. I mean, because for the people that don't go to practice, special teams is a big part of your guys' preparation. But when that's going on, usually defensive line is working on pass rush drills and then their hand placement and things like that. And you guys, as an offensive line, are usually being coached up by Coach Atkins, if I'm not mistaken, during special teams, right?
We steal little individual periods during the special teams periods, and then as soon as it's like a field goal or field goal block, we'll run over.
Pitmaster from Perry says that you're getting better every week at this media stuff. Hashtag dual threat, Devontay.
I appreciate
it. They see you. Get down or lay down says, I watched the guard disrupt the center snap with his hand trying to pull. How much would Coach Alex flip his lid if you did that on a Saturday?
I feel like for that to happen, the guard would have had to either jump early or the center would have had to snap it late. So he wouldn't be happy, because either way you'd get a false start or your center would be snapping it too late.
Okay. Let's see what else we got here. I should have pulled up the grades on. Guy's name escapes me right now. Zane Herring. Did Zane got some burn, didn't he?
He did. He did. I think
All
we
right.
had. I want to say we played almost 12 offensive linemen, if I'm not
Man,
mistaken.
you guys play 35 guys on offense. So
Yeah, and I think 12 are offensive linemen because I know David Stickle got some reps, Bryson Estes got some reps, Jalen got reps, Ira, Rob Elder, Lloyd, Brady.
look at this
Am I
guy.
missing? I think I'm missing one or two.
I don't think Rob Eller didn't get it grade.
I think he played. I think he got in the series,
Okay. Yeah,
if
no,
I'm not mistaken.
I believe you more than I believe what they put on this website.
Who else? Who else?
But yeah, no, you're about right. Oh my God,
Yeah.
Marqueson got some burn. Old Biscuit.
Yeah.
That's my
You can
guy.
count him as an offensive lineman too. That's a big guy.
Yeah, man, he is. He's a large human. Folks, hit the thumbs up as you're watching us here live on YouTube. We certainly would appreciate it if you're listening to the replay on the podcast. Leave a 5-star rating and review for the Seminole Headlines Warchant Podcast Network. All right, let's go. Here we got a couple more. Bobby Johnson, who's the funniest coach on the team?
Coach Atkins, hands down.
All right. We still don't know what happened to the drawing you made of him, the portrait, that the piece of art that you created in Jacksonville. We still don't know where that's at.
I think it's a centerpiece in his house. I'm not sure. That's what I would have did with it, but
I mean, real talk. Space Coast, favorite place to eat around Tallahassee?
I'm a big guy. There's a lot of places. I like Wingstop, Midtown Caboose, Relish, Madison Social, Cooches. Where else? Hobbit.
Okay,
There's a lot of good food around here.
Taste of the Town with Taylor, man. Mr. Love-Taylor going on the Taste of the Town. What's crazy is, like, back in the day, I think they still do it, but ESPN2, usually, like, their number 2 team, when they would go to games, Todd Blackledge was the color analyst, and he would do Todd's Taste of the Town. And I remember, like, I was in school, and we were really, like, looking, we didn't have a lot going well for us at that point, but Todd Blackledge was on the call of our game, like, oh, this is going to be cool. They're in Tallahassee. He's going to have to do Todd's Taste of the Town. And we're like, oh, is he going to do Gordo? Is he going to do Momo? Is he going to do Po' Boys? Like we're talking about it. And they end up going to this place called Cabo's, which none of us had ever heard of. And apparently, I think they're closing shop here this week, or maybe they already have. And they've been they were in business for like 30 years. Like, we'd never heard of them. They're like on the complete opposite side of town from the campus, and we were all so disappointed.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, listen to the people, man. They should, maybe next time they'll come to you. When the Florida, well, not the Florida game, but the Miami game. Maybe they'll get some suggestions from you here. All right, let's see here. Stephen Vaughn says Jordan Wilson looks like an alien out there on the field. He does. Is he a pretty scary guy in board drills?
I haven't had to see him in a board drill, but I would assume so. But he's like off the field, he's a nice dude.
He does look like an alien, man. Like, you see him, you're just like, this guy is a tight end. Like, he's impressive.
Yeah, he's
well built.
He gets mad because I tell him he's just like he's a tackle because he'll stand next to our tackle sometimes and look bigger than them.
Chad Cannon asks, best player you've played against?
There's been a few. Jermaine, Kando, J-Rob, Marvin. I played against both the DNs from Miami that got drafted in the first round last year. Both the guys at Pitt last year. I've played against some ball players.
And then Fabian and Coop.
Yeah, those are the guys on our team now, yeah. And Kier.
Get Down Lay Down says he sent me an email about weight gaining tips. He did. I got the email. I appreciate it. Thank you. Sky Ninja back asking, if you weren't playing football, what other sport would you be playing? Says his son's a huge fan, and that's his question. All right, so we got a question from the kids. Keep up the good work.
I'd probably be starting at point guard for the Lakers, to be honest.
Oh, man. Finally won one. It wasn't pretty, but they finally won one. Johnny Burkett asks, who's the nicest realist? Ooh, good one, Johnny. Let's go. Nicest realist dude on the team besides you, obviously.
Besides me, the nicest dude on the team.
And the realist, man. Like, just like 100's 100 with that guy.
That's hard. You know, we got so many good, genuine people on the team, but like I gotta give a shout out to my guy Reggie Harden.
All right. I like him, man. He does some stuff.
Yeah,
He flashes every now and then. He's got a good frame on him too, man. I'm hoping he grows into
yeah,
something. All right.
yeah. That's my guy.
All right. Good. Look at that. It's a wide receiver. It's not even in the same like meeting room as Devontay. Devontay really reaching back and getting one for us there. All right, man. I think we've hit the bottom of it. We've gotten all through. We've been on air for 30 minutes, Devontay. I'm surely not going to keep you any longer than needed because there's a big game going on this week, 3:30 against Clemson. So we certainly hope to see you at practice this week, man. Hope you are feeling better. And of course, man, we always do appreciate your time, Devontay. Thank you very much, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you all for watching this edition of Trench Talk with Devontay Love-Taylor. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. And just think, we're going to do this in a week from now with a win over Clemson in our belts, hopefully. Hopefully. He's Devontay. I'm Amazon. Thanks for watching. Have a great one, everybody.